Hi all and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing okay. I've only got a few stories for you this evening. The last one's a little bit lengthy, but I'll try and get through this as quick as I can. I say that every time. But I'm going to start off with Zak Brown. So, McLaren CEO Zak Brown has made his concerns public over the operation between Red Bull and AlphaTauri. Helmut Marko explained that the two teams would move operations closer together ahead of 2024. Speaking to motorsport.com, Brown said, "The million-dollar question that none of us know is how early did they turn off this year's car? We know we've outperformed the others in the development race, and we know we've closed the gap to Red Bull, but what none of us know is, did Red Bull stop and we just caught up, or were they still developing? Also, we have some big concerns over the alliance between AlphaTauri and Red Bull. I think that is something that needs to be addressed in the future. So, I still think the sport has a way to go to make sure that everyone is truly independent." I suppose this links in with what I cover later. But how do they monitor this? How do you know what information is being shared between who? It's such a difficult one. But sticking with McLaren, Oscar Piastri has claimed that McLaren expect to be fighting for more than the occasional podium in 2024, as the team looks to close the gap to Red Bull. Piastri said, "I think as a team we have tasted a lot more success in the second half of the year. I think we are fully expecting next year to go into the year fighting for more, or at least making our good weekends we have had this year every weekend. But I'm sure Mercedes and Ferrari have the same idea, so we will try our best, definitely try and start it a little better than we did this year. For myself, I feel like I've got much more experience under my belt, and hopefully I can use that for whatever position we find ourselves in." Another story that got me thinking was when you look how Aston Martin started the year last year and how McLaren progressed over the year, that Mercedes power unit is really quite well matched, I think, to Red Bull. It's just a case of getting the drag reduction on the cars sorted out and developing it a little bit better. So I think, in a sense, that's quite encouraging. And then we're going to come on to the FIA, because as F1's regulations continue to get ever more complicated, there are now a number of restrictions that teams face in the terms of the way that they can operate things at their own basis. There are limits on wind tunnel and CFD testing, how much information can be shared between others, plus the cost cap and the use of outside staff that require compliance at all times. The FIA intend to ensure that teams are following the regulations. The FIA has long had the right to visit factories to check on various things. However, previously this has taken place with plenty of notice to the teams, which is not ideal for the regulator in terms of catching the teams trying to get around the regulations. So the FIA's head of single-seater racing, Nicholas Tumbasis, has said that we want to go to basically zero notice. We don't think we should be just entering the door and going in, but we do think it would be right to have a process in place where we can just phone them and somebody comes out and picks up these people and they can say, I want to go and see the wind tunnel or whatever. Tumbasis also thinks that it should not be a case of the FIA being forced to wait too long outside a factory for any inspection. He said, about 10 to 15 minutes. We want to get to the point where it's really quite immediate. We don't have to wait at the gate for another hour or something like that. The FIA has recently expanded the number of personnel it has available to them. He also said, we were aiming to expand it, the team of factory inspectors, for quite a long time now, but we were a bit understaffed. We recently went to the target number of this team, and now that enables us to visit teams approximately every 2 or 3 weeks. And just quickly, the reason I wanted to cover this is because, well, sometimes you wonder why this has all come about, and is it anything to do with budget caps being breached previously? I know they weren't the last time around in 22. And how do you monitor wind tunnel use and CFD machines and stuff like that? How do you monitor this stuff anyway as the FIA? I don't know. Unless the teams say, we've only done an hour in the wind tunnel today, or 10 hours this week, or whatever, do they just go off what the teams are saying? Is there any possible way of finding out this information? But rather than just clearing up something that's been needed for a long time, it does make you wonder what it is they're looking for and why. Maybe I'm just cynical, I don't know. But anyway, that's it from me for now. If you do like what I do, please like and subscribe, and also press the notification bell so that you get those all important future warnings of my uploads. Again, thank you to everyone for everything. Your comments, your likes, your shares, and for subscribing. It truly does mean a lot to me. And until the next time, take care.